Let me just set this up properly. So, we had actually hit 4,000 subs yesterday, so I'm actually pretty excited about that. Let me make sure that you guys see me clearly. Can you see me clearly? All right, better. We hit 4,000 subs yesterday, so I'm very excited about that. That's the first thing. Second thing is, as you guys know, we've been growing this channel. Hold on, I want to put you guys over here because I like this background better. Mhm. Wicked. All right, so yeah, we hit 4,000 subs yesterday. So as you know, we've been growing this channel since February, actually since 2020, but we hit 1,000 in February, and then now we've just been actually going really, really fast. That's been pretty fun. And also, you wonderful people from all over the world tune into these live, which is why I always come live. And I've been live since February, every single weekday, which has been really cool seeing some of you guys. But we get to talk about money, we get to talk about, traveling, we get to talk about, whatever comes up. Sometimes it's a random topic, but sometimes it's actually very meaningful. Sometimes I stay here for an hour just talking to you guys, sharing some motivation. And again, I want to say that 100% of the profits from YouTube are going to provide scholarships for kids in Jamaica. You know, uh, that has been a really core mission of mine to give back to the schools that I came up in. And so I already give two scholarships out of my pocket. And so again, more of this is helping me to give more scholarships away. So I want to go from two out of my own pockets to four to five to 20, hopefully one day using the money from YouTube. So it's three things. Obviously, we get to have fun. I get to help you guys. So then you get something out of it, like meaningful, just besides fun. And then the kids in Jamaica get to benefit. So, those two things as a mission, I think really drives what I'm doing here. And that motivates me a lot. So, with that said, let's get live started. And if you're watching the replay, I hope you stick around to the end. I'm always live every weekday. And also, if you leave a comment during the replay, I answer. So feel free to, come in and leave your thoughts, etc. All right, so let me put this on mute 1 second. All right, I had to put the phone on do not disturb because I don't want to be disturbed. Uh, uh, yeah, whatever. So, right. So right now we're live. And one of the things that I want to tell you guys about is actually how you can start real estate. Because I just finished recording the house hacking secret formula. I recorded the first 5 videos. It's going to be about 18 videos in the entire training. I guess I'm going to give it away for free because I don't sell courses. So I'm giving away the entire thing for free. It's going to be about 18 parts. It's going to be maybe an hour and a half long, maybe 2 hours. And it's how you can actually get into real estate from anywhere in the world. Again, I'm not selling this. I'm just going to give it away for free, but I haven't completed it yet. But it's on my mind because I just recorded 5 of those videos yesterday. Then, anywhere you are in the world, here's how house hacking works. And I'll tell you exactly what it is because I'm live, so I can give you exactly what I just recorded. Okay, cool. So, house hacking basically is when you live in one part of a property and you rent out the other parts. Okay. So then that could be you live in a triplex, which is 3 units on one property. You live in one and you rent out the other two. Or how I started with house hacking is that let's say you have a 5 bedroom house, you live in one bedroom and you rent out the other 4 bedrooms. So let's say you live in the master bedroom, so you have your own private bathroom and your own living room, your big, whatever, big space, and then you rent out the other 4 bedrooms so that these 4 bedrooms actually pay for your living expenses. You can do it the triplex or multifamily way, or you can do it by the bedroom, right? That's fine. Or obviously, you also have apartments which are much bigger. However, these are the types of house hacking. No, the reason why I tell you this is because this principle of house hacking works everywhere in the world. For example, in Argentina, a woman I was dating in Argentina, her parents had a spare bedroom upstairs with its own bathroom. That was in Argentina. That's how they made extra money. They rented that room. Okay. Now, I'll tell you, when I first came here in Suriname, I was staying in a large house, and guess where I was staying? In one bedroom, Suriname. That's two countries. This works in the US, this works in Jamaica as well, etc., etc. House hacking is a principle that you can use to decrease your living expenses, and it works everywhere in the world. I give you the story that I'm going to give inside of the secret formula. Whether or not you're religious doesn't matter. Just listen to the story. Mary and Joseph in the Bible, Jesus, when they were going and they were going to file the taxes, and Mary had to give birth to Jesus, what did they do? They stopped at an inn and gave birth to Jesus in a manger. Think about that story. Obviously, that's not the point of the story, but think about the story. They stopped, the owner was there, and they got to rent that place for the couple of days or weeks that they were there for whatever they needed it to. And the owner of the place got money for giving them that extra space. They rented it. That's how far back house hacking goes. Thousands and thousands of years. It's a principle that will continue to work for as long as creation is here. As long as we have this earth, house hacking will work. So it goes as far back as that, and it will go as far forward as however far that you can think. And it works anywhere in the world. The only thing that's changed in the last, couple thousand years, hey, somebody said, hey, Bean, good to see you. Tell me where you're watching from as you're coming in. Tell me where you're watching from so that, we can interact and we can have a good time. Being where you're watching from. As you're typing, I'm going to continue. So let me get cool. So the principle of house hacking works everywhere in the world, right? That's the first thing. Uh, the only thing that has changed in the last couple of thousand years is this. Uh, what has changed is now that we have technology. Now we have Wi-Fi. Now we have Netflix, right? Now we have locks on doors. Now we have automated codes. We have the internet. Now we have all of these amazing different amenities that we didn't have thousands of years ago or even 20 years ago, right? Because Netflix didn't exist 20 years ago. Or, well, 30 years ago, okay? Whatever. But you understand my point, right? Which is that no, the principle and the numbers are still working, which is that if you use other units inside of a place to offset the costs or break even, or even better, make profit, that is still working all over the world. And only how you do that has changed. And because I do this every day, what's changed is what I have to keep up with on a day to day basis, on a week, month, year to year basis. But the principle will still work, which means, think about this. What it means is that anywhere you go in the world, right now, for example, I'm staying in a two-bedroom house, not an apartment, I'm staying in a two-bedroom house. I wanted to rent my second bedroom to somebody so that I didn't have as much cost for myself. I could do that, which means I can stay anywhere in the world, rent a five-bedroom, live there for a year, and pay little to no money for where I'm actually staying. Think about that. That's insane. You understand my point? It's like this can actually make you a lot of money if you understand it as a principle. Because anywhere you travel to, your only goal is to see, hey, okay, where can I find my house hack, live for free, make profit while I'm at home? And then now you can live in that place, and that would be your base income. Or at least you're not paying to live there. Think about that. All you need to do is find one deal wherever you go in the world, which will give you so much more confidence. So that's what I'm talking about in my house hacking. I know that's kind of boring Monday morning, but I give it some motivation so we can get some more people back in here. Because, you know, always talking about real estate, I don't know, that might be a little bit boring for you guys. But again, I love talking about money. I love talking about real estate investing, going deeper into those stuff. Obviously, I can go much, much deeper, but then that gets very specific. And this is a general audience. So I'll keep it general, I'll keep it above board, and then we'll get back to that, obviously diving into deeper content. We have to separate the audience. Okay, cool. So anyway, where are you guys watching from? Talk to me. We just hit 4,000 subs. Very excited about that, man. Obviously, I'm just coming from the gym, so you know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. That's very cool. So yeah, I'm not sure if you're only hearing me, but the background is kind of noisy, which is fine. I don't mind. It seems that they're pulling down an event right there. That was yesterday for Father's Day. That was very cool. Um, I would also say for Father's Day, that's a lot of pink. Father's Day tends to be a blue holiday. You know what I mean? And maybe that's old fashioned, but On Mother's Day, everywhere is pink and red, right? So then for Father's Day, I think it should be blue or green or something. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, people don't really care about Father's Day like they do for Mother's Day, which I completely disagree with because in society, you know, a functioning society does not work without good fathers. So obviously, it doesn't work without mothers too because mothers give birth. But to say that mothers are more important or less important, I think does a disservice to the weighting that both people should actually have. And I think they're just vitally important to society. We cannot continue without women, but a functioning society day to day doesn't operate without them. So I think we're both very important. That's why they're that's why we're here. Obviously. That's why we're different. So that we can actually make the thing work. But anyway, I think fathers are just as important as mothers. If that's controversial, I know. That's weird. The same amount of importance, I think. That's controversial. I'm willing to be cancelled for that. But anyway, tell me guys where you're watching from. A couple of people are coming in. Let me move back over here so I can show you guys my view. That's my view, by the way. That's my view. I'm not going to make this too long of a live because I just wanted to come on and see who's here, who's popping, find out, guys, how your week is going. And also, obviously, give you guys some motivation, right, to get you through the week. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing about motivation, right? You guys got to understand that you actually only have one life, right? And I try to live my life to the best of my ability, trying to recognize that the things that I want to do when I'm 60, I want to do them at 60 because I can only do those things at 60. But the things I can only do in my 20s, I want to do those things in my 20s. Then I really think deeply about the things that I try to do. And what that really means is traveling has to, it makes sense when you're physically able to travel, right? Now you have more money when you're older, presumptively, but your body isn't able to go as far. So then I want my body to be able to go as far. And so as young as possible as I can travel, that's what I want to do. But I also want kids. So then, that's what your 30s and 40s are for. You need to start having kids, right? 30s, 40s, so that you actually have enough time to, watch your kids grow up and you're healthy enough when they need you to be healthy, right? You need to be active with your kid. You don't want to be the one father or the one mother at the basketball game that, is like walking with a cane. You don't want to be that person. You want to be the person that's be able to cheer and lift them up if they score a goal. You don't want to be that guy. Cool, cool. But the reverse is also true, right? You get smarter as you get older. Your business decisions get better. So then it's very possible that I will make a lot of money. It's not even possible. It is a guarantee that in my life I'll make a lot of money. But do I have to make a lot of money now to sacrifice my 20s and 30s? Or would I rather sacrifice my 50s and 60s? You understand what I'm saying? By that time, for example, my kids are in their teenage years, right? They are in their 20s, right? Now I can focus more on business because that becomes now my entire focus, my entire reason for living. And I can work because I genuinely love to. And that doesn't mean I'm working 6, 7 hours a day. Or sorry, that doesn't mean I'm working 10, 12 hours a day, but I'm actually working on things that interest me. For example, did you know that 90% of Warren Buffett's wealth came after he was 50? Why do you think that is? Because compound effect, right? So then imagine, and I think he's like what, 93 now, 94? It's like if you think about the way money works, if you just have a long horizon and don't try to get there by the time that you're 30, you will make freaking a huge ton of money. But you just have to be patient. And then in the patience, what you actually have to do is find things to do besides just money. Is that yes, you focus on your family, yes, you travel the world, yes, you find love, yes, you work on your body, etc. But that's what patience is, right? And Alex Hormozy actually talks about this too, which I like his definition. He's like, you do actually have to just have decades of a horizon. You can't be only thinking about 2 or 3 months or weeks or even years. 2 years is not really a long time for anything to take off. Yes, a lot can happen in 2 years, but before those 2 years, you probably put in a decade to get to those 2 years. You see what I'm saying? And so then what you're looking at right now is someone who is thinking about where they're going to be when they're 55. And now hopefully you're thinking about that as you're going through your day too. That you're not just thinking that right now is temporary, but you're thinking about, okay, am I making the moves that's going to change my life in a decade? Is what I'm going to do today worth it for where I want to be when I'm 50, where I want to be when I'm 40, where I want to be when I'm 35, when I'm 30? You understand what I'm saying? And I hope it's not going over your head how profound that is. But if you change the question that you ask yourself in the morning, which is not, this is on my to do list, but is this going to change my life in a decade? I think it will shift your paradigm on what things are important. And in some things, you will let burn because they're not important to where you want to be in a decade. You understand what I'm saying? Hopefully that is motivating because I'm hungry. Good. Good. I'm glad it's motivating. Wow, she's very pretty. Oh, sorry, I'm on live, but she is pretty. Okay. Right. I hope that's motivating for you guys, y'all. So yeah, you guys understand, right? Which is again, let's lock back in, thinking long term. Because right now, think about this. Let's go back to fitness for a little bit. When you're talking about fitness, people want to say, oh, I'm talking about fitness and I'm getting fit because I want to look good in my 20s and my 30s. But then what good is you being fit in your 20s and 30s if by the time that you're 50 and your grandkids are coming around or you're 60, you can't even run with them? Oh, there's a lot of mosquitoes right here. You can't even run with them. What's the point of that? What's the point of being fit in your teenage years and your 20s if by the time that you're 40, you have this? What's the point of that? Right? What's the point if you have this bare belly? You want to be fit for your entire life. It's not a one-time thing and then you just give up on fitness. No, it's a lifestyle that you're actually attracting. And so if you're thinking about fitness from that perspective, it's that the long-term horizon actually makes more sense, doesn't it? Because you want to be a fit 60-year-old. You want to be a fit 80-year-old. You want to be able to walk up steps by yourself, right? You want to be able to carry your own luggage or your own groceries. My grandfather, I think he died at 92 years old. And he was still going to the market and coming back, walking to and from the market in his 80s. 80-year-old man walking, groceries, bags, feet on the roof, fixing things, hammer, you know what I'm saying, nail, in his 80s. That's a fitness goal. Being fit in your 20s is not a flex. You should be fit. That's like the minimum. That's not a flex. Being fit in your 80s, that is a flex. Yo, I am being bit the fuck up right now. Hold up. These mosquitoes are crazy. Oof. Mosquitoes. Ridiculous. Man, I was almost at lunch. That's crazy. As I said, I'm not gonna Joe, I need to leave this place because if these keep biting me, in my country now it's not morning, but I'm still watching. I appreciate that. Arab Ali. Did I say that right? Arab Ali. I appreciate that, bro. Because, first of all, make sure that you subscribe so that we can stay locked in. Because I appreciate when people from all over the world tune in and you guys motivate me to keep going. And so, yeah, I hope that wherever you're watching from, I hope that one, you subscribe. Two, you actually go back and watch live on some of the videos that we have and keep yourself motivated. Very important. But then I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought. That's okay. I lost my train of thought. All right, I'm gonna end this live because I'm hot and now I'm in the sun and I'm sweating and I'm being bit. So yeah, it's time for me to go. Okay, there we go.